Hi, hello. And today I'm going to discuss about men, photo shoot for men. Right? It's one of my favorite topics because I like to talk about men in general. Men are easy to shoot, in my opinion, right? Men like to take a direction and very good. They are able to follow the direction. Sorry, I am getting trouble here with another phone. Anyway, let's continue. So today, topic is going to be about men, but I would like to start with the thing what happened today. So one lady just found me and arrived to my studio. She wanted to leave a deposit for a photo shoot. And she told me that, do you recognize me? Do you remember me? And I was like, I don't know, I will see. So the person shot with me maybe 15 years ago, okay, and found me again because since she had this photo shoot and it was a dating photo shoot, she met an amazing guy and she moved to France and she bought a house there. She have horses and she had a great life and love. And she said that after this photo shoot, her life completely changed and escalated. And she came again. She came again. She think that she will get a photo shoot for me for a new cycle. Some people live in cycles, right? Relationship go in cycles. Okay, our life in general go in cycles. For some reason, my YouTube is not working and it's just not activating. Right. Okay. So today's topic, I'm just going to finish this, right? So people who create a photo shoot, something interesting happens with them. Their life changes because my work is not about posing, is not about pretending, is not about faking. My work is about discovering yourself, who you truly are. What is your adult side? What are your demons? Okay, what's happening in general right now and where you want to go, right? And continuing with this lady, she's saying like this is really nerve-wracking for me to start the new journey and the new cycle of my life and meet new people and she's still in love after 15 years. She's still in love, but she thinks that she grown. What happens with the woman when they go older? They become more expensive. Okay, you think that the young girls are expensive, but not really. Okay, I don't take any live calls and I don't invite anyone, okay, to my lives. Okay, please stop this, right? I am here to discuss about erotic photo shoot. And if I would like to invite someone, there will be a professional probably, okay? The person who knows the photography, right? So what I'm saying is that I heard many stories, okay, and many things. What happens to people after they create a photo shoot about themselves, erotic photo shoot without limitations, okay, without limitations. And what I'm saying to her, I'm saying to her that I'm gonna do it again, okay. And she was laughing. I'm saying it's not funny because that's what I do. Okay, transformation happens. Usually, you see, when you go to see psychologists, right? When you go to see, you have certain issue. When you go to see a doctor, a psychologist, you have a conversation with him. Conversation is not that powerful to impact you and create the change. Action takes the change, makes the change, right? So when you take an action and the erotic photo shoot, boudoir photo shoot, it's a very how to say exotic and specific and uh, risky choice, right? People are nervous. People feel, how to say, embarrassed. Okay, people feel shy about undressing. Okay, this is something. It's not the same like going to get an ice cream to an ice cream shop, right? You're going to erotic photo shoot. You're going to undress. You're going to explore your body. You're going to work with your mind. Okay, you're going to create sexual energy. You're going to introduce yourself in a different light and I will direct people, you see, and I will direct them to the point where they're scared, you know. when they're scared, I will show them the other side, okay? Because in general, what happens is, right, people when they want to create an amazing photo shoot, okay, and if they are in a positive energy, like this lady which I've just talked to, is going to be easy, okay, because she's full on of life, okay, she's already feeling love, she's in love and she wants more love, okay, and she wants more men to support her, okay, and she's how to say, living a great life already. But sometimes people coming depressed and upset and unconsciously unhappy about themselves, okay, and something is wrong with them, they think, okay, and it's just that there are so many things behind it, okay. They think, oh, I'll just have a beautiful photo shoot and posing, and they arrive with their huge baggage of negative energy when they convinced that they're not good enough, they're not beautiful enough, they're not sexy enough, it's not gonna happen. It's going to be very hard to make good pictures with me. You know, it's going to be hard to shoot me and create, you know, this type of thing. And I believe that at one point it's right, because it's not easy. Okay, when the person doesn't like himself, okay, it's not easy for a photographer to create a you know, gorgeous photography, you know, for them, because they already do not like themselves. So it's not about the photography. I am shooting photography, but in the same time, I am moving and making a transition for the person to go into a positive vibe, because erotica is, it's, you see, erotica in my, it's like there are two directions, okay. There is a healthy direction, okay, and there is a direction where people were limited and suspended in the way, okay, blocked in the way, right, and psychological, emotional, and sexual development being kind of suppressed and stopped. Okay, any kind of traumatic experience can do that. Someone will be shouting on you, you know, your mom or the teacher or the coach or whatever, and you would get in shock, and you know, it's easy for children, you know, to get traumatized. So everyone is basically traumatized. In the reality is this, okay? If you are not traumatized, you do not have kinky fantasies. You know? You kind of boring. You kind of normal. You kind of just simple person. Okay? If you've been traumatized, you have a fantasy. Okay? You have lots of fantasies to achieve. Right? That is the erotica. Okay? And erotica is there to repair that how to say, that traumatic experience that happened in the past, which subconsciously is connected to you in the adult world, right? The thing what happened in the childhood has been like long time ago, but the file, okay, is still somewhere in, you know, in the archive, and it's rolling, you know, it's rolling. Very often people create erotic fantasies with hot and sexy models, okay, and they're really scared and afraid that this is, you know, cheating maybe or something. It's so effective for couples, you cannot believe it, you know. But talking about couples is going to be next live, okay. Today I am just waiting till people will come and say, I'm saying everyone hi. Today is your topic. Majority of my audience is men, okay. So today I'm going to talk about men, photo shoot about men, why men doing a photo shoot today, you know. And in general, I'm speaking about my experience. I am in adult business since 2005, okay, so over 20 years. And I see people undressing over 20 years, okay, and I discuss and talk to them about erotic fantasies, you know, what they want, what they fancy, what their kings, right? And through those years, I have a lot of analysis or theories, okay, about erotica, about intimacy, about relationship in terms of, you know, I see that kind of relationship they have in a studio, okay, behind the scenes. I can see how they're connecting. This is very, the erotica and creating things when you undress is very, very vulnerable, okay, and nerve-wracking experience. It's seriously, it's similar like maybe jump from the cliff or jump from the parachute. That's how much scary is for other people. And some people will never do it because um, that's how they are. You know, it's something from the world that they will never undress. Okay, it's like, you know, in million years, and that is fine. Okay, because you see, at this time we are developing emotionally, spiritually. Okay, and develop to that level, we need creative energy and we need sexual energy, and not everyone is developing at the same time. Okay. But like I said, there are people who are developing early and they're coming to see me. Okay. And when I speak about men, right? Men come to have a photo shoot if it comes about, if it takes, you know, how to say, if they serious about something, right? They serious about themselves. They want to know about themselves. There are things, you know, sometimes very sad. Okay. Like you meet people with oncology, you know, that's why they want to do a photo shoot. Maybe they think this is the last one. Okay, or maybe they will do an operation and it's the tool is not gonna work. Okay, so I kind of see this type of photo shoot recently. Okay, but before, okay, before, I mean like maybe 10 years ago, everyone wanted to have a corn shoot. Okay, and you know what I mean when I'm saying corn. So everyone want to have straight intimacy, okay? And with the model, it's very popular, okay? The reason why I've created the photo shoots with models is because the men were asking me too many times about the photography service and extras that do not include in a photography, you know? By this day, to be fair, okay? They think that photographer would provide something, you know, like an escort does, right? That's kind of a thing. And I always say, maybe you can, you know, maybe you can contact the other studio, maybe they can help you, you know. I do not see this on my price list. You know, I do not see this in my job description as a photographer, okay, to provide you any kind of service, right? So this situation put me into another role. People saying, how did you create this photo shoot, threesome photo shoot, cocktail fantasy photo shoot? I have not created them. You created them. You've been asking me so many times, okay, that I just thought, seriously, if they want this and I can do this, why not? Why not, right? But I've already practiced a lot and tested a lot, okay, and now I put the service to a premium, okay, because this is premium situation, right? But what happens with men is this, okay? By this day, there are men who are wasting my time, okay? So you know this catfish, you know, this catfish, you see, they just want to talk about intimacy. They just want to share their fantasy. They just want to go back and forward about this. Okay, they will never book a photo shoot. They just want your time. Okay, so when you go to dating, you know that they're there. Okay, so they come to me. Okay, there are many of them. They come to me. So because I have too many of them, and I'm just fed up. The first thing for men, what I do is, if they are booking a photo shoot, okay, which is nude, explicit, or something else, okay, then I ask for ID. I need a verification of the ID. Okay, so if it's a catfish or any kind of other bullshitter, you know, or time waster, they will never send the ID. And that's so easy now, okay, that I'm not getting upset anymore, okay? I'm not getting upset anymore, right? So this is one category of men who are interested in erotic photo shoots, okay? But you know, sometimes they come, but there are just too many of them, right? There is another type of men who think that erotic photo shoot should be very cheap, you know? Like seriously, they would want to come and how to say, arrive to the studio, and they would want to play with themselves and be naked and just run around, you know, and whatever they want. Okay, whatever they want, seriously. And sometimes I think they should hire an escort. Okay, pay in the escort, and the escort, you know, can provide the same service. Yeah, seriously. So they are confused, you know. They are, you know, people who use the escort, they think that the photographer who does erotic photography is also an escort or is priced as an escort, which is, you know, which is not true. But now when I'm talking to escort, you see there are premium escorts. There are premium escorts. Of course, there are cheaper escorts, right? There are premium. I'm working with premium escorts. Okay, I would like a premium clientele, and that's why I have the best models. Okay, but premium models, and premium models is from 2 to 4 grand per shoot, just for a model. Okay, usually it's for a couple. When couple is booking a female model, okay, it's this price. When the guy is booking a female model, it's also this price. Okay, for a female, because female, they know their price, and this is the only area when they are getting paid more than men. Okay, in the world. I think. Okay, men are from 300, 500 per hour. Okay, there are so many men who would come for free. Okay, there are so many models who would like come back to the studio for this kind of amazing adventure, to assist any kind of beautiful client, you know, and just how to say, create adult content, right? So that kind of a situation. But there are men, right, who are investing. Okay, there are men who are investing in their girlfriend or their wife, and they want to raise the sexual energy up. This is, of course, matters because they would get an experience. What I don't like about some men, because they think that this is my job, sexually educate their partner. Okay, and especially what I don't like about men when they saying, oh, can you teach her to do A levels, or can you teach her to do this or do that, or can we... That is not my job. Okay, so men always ask, you know, if they are in this type, okay, they would ask that. What kind of men also are coming for a photo shoot? For photo shoot, the men, you know, there are men who are interested, okay, in a very, very sexy stuff, okay, like literally close up, explicit, and that kind of a thing, okay. And I know because there are women who would come to shoot a photo shoot for their boyfriend or for their husband, okay. They would ask that. They would shoot boudoir, beautiful photography for themselves, okay, for themselves. But for the husband, she will undress, open their legs, and do different kind of explicit stuff because he would like it. Okay, so that kind of a situation, right? Cool. Okay, what else I can tell about men? Okay, men. Yesterday, one guy was interested about intimate photo shoot with the hot and sexy model. And I'm showing him models, and of course these are all VIP models. And he could not say that he don't like the models. You know what he said? Okay, maybe you have a transvestite. And I said, no. In reality, when this kind of a game, you know, and they asking for the trans, I said, you don't know what you want. I will decline the shoot, you know, that kind of a situation also, okay? This kind of inquiry type, right? So talking about men, usually we start from the portraits, but there are very brave personalities who will come to the studio and they will undress. You know, if they care about their body and they physically working out, they would go to the studio somewhere, do some push-ups, pump a little bit, right, and prepare for great shots, right? I like shooting men because they are not that much. I mean, we can say that we have everything in every kind of gender, right? There are men like women, okay, who worry and nervous and so on, right? There are, okay? This is the situation. We know, right? But I'm talking in general about men, about masculine men, yes? Men are okay with these wrinkles or with these blemishes or with the scars, you know? They would never worry about this. Believe me. If the woman would have these wrinkles, scars, blemishes, they would worry straight away and they would in front to say, you know what, I want to be shot this way, that this, you know, this is not going to be visible, or remove this during the Photoshop and so on. Okay, so there is a lot of work with women. Okay, and women do not hear direction very well, you know, I would say. Okay, so if the woman in her feminine energy, then she is performing well. Okay, but if she's disconnected from from her personality, and body and mind is disconnected, then I'm saying one thing they're doing different, you know. And it's hard work to get into those amazing and hot and sexy shots. Okay, so what I'm saying about men today, that I love working with men. Okay, because they focus, they straightforward, they how to say, there are men of course who being very how is it, gentlemen, I would say. They are respectful during the photo shoot. But there are a type of men who would still, you know, somehow try to take attention, or try somehow to get, you know, something, or maybe, or this, maybe she would like me so much that she would do something for me, that kind of a situation, you know. And when people, you know, in general, I would say, when they choosing photographer, right, they choosing by the face, you know. So they very often get confused, you know. Okay, they would think that they would come to the studio and create something more than photography, you know, and that's the case, and it was like that, right? But now things changing. Now men understand what that is. That not knowing yourself, not connecting with yourself, not finding your own path. Okay? When you're not on your path, you're nervous, anxious, depressed, taking drugs and whatever, right? The life is not in a full color. Okay, or you are not in a full power, right? So men now, you know, but the ones who has a brain, realize that creative energy and do something creative will develop men and grow and put them to, you know, to another level. So this is something what is, you know, important, because before they were on the lower vibration. All they wanted is, you know, how to say, see tits and asses, and then they didn't care anything about anyone, right? They just, it was a lot of, I started in adult business. Maybe this is something what I, you know, constantly seeing, right? If I would be sitting not in London, okay, maybe in some village, I would have a different opinion, right? But when I see thousands and thousands of men, I just have the full spectrum, okay, the full palette of options what are in the men direction. Today I'm discussing 7 new messages. Thank you for your messages. Today I'm discussing about adult photo shoots and about men, why men are doing it. Okay, men are doing it for confidence. Yes, yes, definitely. You know, sometimes they don't know how to undress in front of the woman. Sometimes I'm telling them again and again and again, try again. It's not sexy. I say, go back home and practice in front of the mirror, okay? And sometimes I will tell them to undress slowly, and they will rock it, you know? So yeah, so confidence is, it's maybe, how to say, the most popular topic, because without confidence, we would not have sexual shots, right? But when, like I say, if the man is successful and he is working out, he has plenty of confidence, okay? And he's coming there for interest, for development, for bucket list, for excitement, to do something risky, to do something taboo, to do something, like that. This is the first time. Huh? How many first times, you can have, right? So people looking for new adventures and creative photo shoot experience. It's a transformation. It's not that you are going to undress in front of me and how to say, and shake, shake, right? I am getting through the personality. I have a consultation, and then we are going and reaching the goals we want. Usually that is how it works. Okay, anyway, let me just say hi, hello to everyone here. And I'm going live from London, and I just gonna say hello and continue my topic about photography, adult photography, the boudoir photo shoot for men. Wow, you are looking exceptionally beautiful. Thank you. Exceptionally interesting. Discussing, what is this? Discussing. Hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello. Give me questions. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. Next time I'm going live Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, so when I go live, it's going to be to US channel, US TikTok. That is why I'm taking 7 p.m. o'clock. I don't know if it's convenient in US, right? But this is my decision. Tell me which time is better. 7, maybe 8. I mean, maybe it's better to go at 10 p.m., right? But 10 p.m. I am in bed. I was thinking about making lives from my bedroom. I am in bed and talking about my favorite topic. It's photography for adults, creative photo shoots, fantasy photo shoots, boudoir, glamour, right? Make love scenarios. So when we talk about boudoir, it's not very, popular around the social media, if I can tell you, boudoir. Okay, men most of the time looking very popular cuckold fantasy. Okay, this is the hit. Cuckold fantasy is the hit. When men are interested to share their partner with someone else. This is the hit between the men. It's last maybe 5 years. Very popular. Everyone know it. Everyone wants to hear it. Photo shoots on this topic, right? I want to talk about the ideas and dream to shoot. Okay, the problem is this: the wife doesn't know. The wife doesn't know, or even if she knows, never agrees. And these were people texting me and writing me how to convince her. I really want to do this photo shoot, okay, and so on and so on. And that kind of a thing. So this is 5 years, very popular topic, photo shoot with models, and we hire male models. And so men would choose a male model for their girlfriend or for their wife, and very popular is big black model. I'm using very safe words. That's why sometimes I'm struggling because I don't want to be suspended on this account. I'm just finding those words so that I could be safe, right? When I'm talking about adult photography and about corn, right? There are a lot of words which are explicit and maybe, how to say, will disturb the algorithm, right? So that is why sometimes I am looking, maybe wait, you need to wait a bit for me to deliver the message. Okay, so I'm going to talk now again, continue my life about men creating different kind of photo shoots, and boudoir photo shoot usually starts from portraits. Okay, people who come to do a boudoir photo shoot, they say this: my girlfriend or my wife thinks that I'm really hot and they want me to do it, right? Is one thing. Or I am single, okay, and I want to have a dating portfolio. And dating portfolio today, okay, today it's a two stages situation. The first stage is how to say classic, okay, standard shoot, which you present yourself, okay, and then the second stage is a sexy shoot, because you see when you go into a dating, right, there's going to be a first stage where you just met, right, and then going to be a later stage where you are interested in each other and want to present each other. And we have phones now, right, so we take pictures and we take videos, right, and not every time you can create a very hot picture of yourself, because believe me, if you will have a very hot picture of yourself, and you are hot, right, but sometimes people cannot make that hot pictures even they're hot, right, so they ask professional help, and then you approach the lady who may be interested in you, and if you show the professional picture, she will be extremely turned on, just like that. Because she was like, wow, seriously? Right? And that's what she will memorize. And if she meet and the picture match with the real version, win-win situation, So photography and video are a part of our life now. We are stuck on the phone. We're constantly watching and sitting on that content. Okay, we're constantly looking at the images and at the videos, right? So I recommend today to shoot both mediums, okay? But even for people, individuals, okay? Both mediums I shoot for couples 100%. Even they say, we don't want videos, okay? And I know why they don't want videos, because they old. They do not understand, okay? If they are older generation, mature generation, they do not understand the video concept. Why? Photography, that's impressive, but they do not understand what the video does, okay? And believe me, video is a totally different topic. Okay, first of all, the photographer in general, okay, not every photographer can take a video, right? That's the first thing. And then edit the video as well, So not every photographer can do both things, but I can, right? All the things. When men writing me, okay, and those who are shy or embarrassed ask me how many people in the studio, okay, what's happening, what is the crew? How big is the crew? And I'm saying, it's me. It's no one else. If you want, I can hire the crew. Okay, I hire people. I have people to hire. If we go to do a bigger project and events, I can hire anyone. I can hire a man makeover professional. It is something also happening. Before 10 years ago, I never booked a makeup artist for a guy. Okay, seriously. And now it's okay. Now it's okay. They want like a grooming service. They want the lady. It's not that they want a grooming service. They just, it's kind of like a preparation time when you take time and prepare, and lady will sort him out. Sometimes she will shave, sometimes she will sort the hair, different kind of stuff. If the men come, if the men come and want to wear ladies' clothes and the wigs, right? That's also happening. And so I have a very great professional, okay? She's doing men. She's working with the wigs. And she's making transformations that are amazing, okay, for men. Different kind of photo shoot. Men want to be heroes, okay? They want to be on the stage. They want to be different kind of fantasy heroes. I shot Mr. America, Batman, whoever I shot is like this Iron Man. There are many kind of different things okay, men want, right? But the only and the most us thing was to help them during the photo shoot, okay? To help them. That's the only thing which comes up all the time. They need help. majority of them, they would prefer that someone will be next to them on stage and help them and support them. Yeah, because you see, when when you are on your own, you are one-to-one with me, and you need to perform and show me what you've got, you know. So it's a pressure, you know. It's a pressure. It's a pressure. When men changing into a woman's clothes, that's also an erotic fantasy, right? They removing that stress this way, okay? Because some men are, you know, don't want to be men. When they dress like a lady, they remove that pressure of responsibility that you must, that you know, like, I mean, society put a lot of weight on the men, right? And some cannot just hold it. And that's too much for them, okay? So they need to change their personality. That's why they come and change into the woman clothes and shoot, you know. And these men, when they change into the woman shoot, they would never suggest me anything indecent, you know. But in general, you know, if the photo shoot, if the person, depending on the person level, okay, usually these are young people. That's why I like to work with mature generation, okay. They are trying, they're thinking that, you know, something can happen to them. Something to happen to them. And from men, I receive a most often question asked, do I do or provide adult services during the photo shoot? How do I shoot them? How do I help them? Okay, only men ask this question. And basically on every live that I've done. That's why I'm saying, write me the questions. I want to see the questions. I want to see who is watching me right now. Okay, because the reason what you're asking, you know, I can associate what kind of a audience is there on the other side in US. Okay, 18 new messages. I'm going back to new messages and finalizing, discussing men confidence and creative photoshoot ideas. It's this AI suggestion from my context that I spoken. They've already evaluated what it is about. Hello, sexy mama. Okay, hi, hello. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. Very pretty. Hey. Hey. Okay. Hey is also okay. And I'm saying you by hey. Okay. So what else I should say about men and men photo shoots? Okay. I would say that men need creative experience in their life. When they were children, they did a lot of creative stuff, right? We're going to clubs, reading, you know, making books, blah, 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 fixing cars, playing, and so on, right? Then they become adults and they start making money, you know, and there are a lot of problem solving because men are, you know, there to solve women problems. You know, so they are busy solving their own problems and then women problems, okay, and they stop developing, right? Stop developing. And when you develop, right, the life becomes what? Richer, yeah, more enjoyable. You are aware more about yourself, know yourself, you have confidence, you have understanding of yourself, right? And of course, you will create the things that you would not be able to create anywhere else, you see? Because what I'm saying is you will create a photo shoot without limitations, including cum shots, you know? And imagine to prepare for a cum shot. Oh my gosh, how nervous the topic is that. Okay. First of all, not everyone can have an erection. Second of all, not everyone can perform. Okay. In front of the camera. Not brave enough. They will think that they can do and everything, but not necessarily it will happen to them. So it's like car which is going straight straight by the road, right? And then they want to have an erection and turn right, okay? And the car is not turning, it's just going straight, and the body is not listening to them, okay? This is a very simple, maybe a simplified example when the body and the mind, your soul is disconnected. You just can't control it, okay? The same with woman. Woman cannot come, for example, right? Also disconnected. So this is exactly what happens to us. Okay, that's why people are sad, depressed, overeating, drinking, partying, changing partners, taking drugs, are depressed, or just, stuck on the gaming, or gambling, or whatever. Whatever you would do, you are going away from your realization, why you came here and what you're supposed to do. People are lost, confused. They don't know. They don't know who they are. How you can find a partner if you don't know who you are? You will find someone who will match your traumatic wounds. Yeah? But everyone come here to be happy. Yeah? Everyone come here to be happy. And so we need to put work and remove all those codes and all those, how to say, you see, when we were born one way, but through the development and growing up, they changed us. They changed our programs, and they put different codes. We have to uncode ourselves and remove a lot of information that is not ours. People, when they think something about themselves, okay, or they see themselves, they always have a certain, it's like a separate image of themselves. And that image of themselves could be formed not by them, okay? Because you see, we are listening as children and trusting and believing, okay? And we receive a lot of reasons why to believe, right? So we form our image by the other people, how they see us, okay? And that is why very often I have this situation when people say I am not photogenic, because they do not see their own beauty. They do not see themselves. There are a lot of beautiful people, and I'm talking today about men, right? Because I had I already told about this on one of my lives in the past, and I had a very nice looking, gorgeous looking Insta boy. There was like a Insta boy fashion or whatever. Okay, Insta boy. And he wanted just one picture. I was thinking, it's so strange. It's so strange. Why is us? It's like for me, when I shoot a photo shoot, I shoot many pictures. You know why? Because energy is moving. You can't just stand still and create sexual energy. You need to try this, you need to try do this, and I am trying to move these people, right? And you see, when we are creating the photo shoot, we are creating a certain sequences. And during that sequence, there is an energy wave developing, right? So you cannot stop the wave, but it's escalating as a spiral if this photo shoot is successful, right? And the person is really opening up, and the person is connecting, right, with himself and showing what he's got, right? Being confident, being himself, being how to say, loving himself, proud of himself, of what he's achieved, how he's grown, or he's successful, or that's kind of the celebration, celebration of who you are right now, okay? Freezing that moment. And in the same time, when I'm shooting, you will have 500 images, 700 images, 1,000 images, 1,500 images. I mean, I'm not sitting there, okay? I am seriously working on creating a certain energy so that the person will receive that transformation. I never give them 5, 10, or 20 shots. They receive the whole file, and then they can see that from the moment when they are not sure, do not understand what to do, okay? Maybe doubting, right? Growing into a different personality, which is strong and sexy. Because we like sexy people. That's what attractive is, right? We attracted to sexual energy. Sexual energy, first of all, is money. Everyone wants money, right? Then sexual energy is in the woman who is feeling her feminine side, right? That kind of a thing. Or in the men. The men, you see, the men are presenting their sexual energy in the way that they are discovering or creating or achieving something. They're standing on the stage, they riding a horse, or the Formula One situation, right? Or any kind of a sport. That's where they invest, and that's what the woman see, and that's how she reads the sexual energy, right? But of course there are men. I will go to this show next week or so, Magic Mike. I thought I have to go, I will be sitting in the front row, and I will be watching everything, because if I work in this business, I have plenty magic mics in the studio, but I just never been in the event. I thought I'm gonna go, right? So what I'm saying, we are generating the sexual energy not only in the intimate environment, we are using it, sexual energy, for other things to create. Our life created for a sexual energy, right? So we are very big. We are creators, okay? And we need this energy for that reason, because you can't make anything, if you don't have it. And of course, we're using it to make babies, relationship, and other things. It's in olden days, people were saying that reproduction is very important and so on. Now they doing it for, how does it, for fun, for pleasure, because they are connected in a relationship, and so on. Intimacy is not only about making children anymore, okay? Right? So we moved away from that stage, right? Yes or no? What do you think? What do you think? 4 messages, okay? Let me just finalize, because I will be talking here 1 hour. It's already 49 minutes. Okay, if you see me next time, hello, next time, you can ask me questions about erotic photo shoot. Let me finalize this topic about men, right? Men want to show their masculine energy. They want powerful pictures, okay? They want confident pictures. They want heart and big erection shots, okay? They want great cum shots, okay? They do want a lot of things, right? But they are not extremely demanding, you see? They're very easygoing, and they're very easy to maneuver. Okay, that is why I like to shoot men from one side, but from the other side, okay, I need to choose my clientele, that it will be pleasure for me to work with, So that's the thing. So usually men will pay a deposit, okay, and then arrive to the studio. But if I'm booking woman or a couple, very often they would like a consultation before, before the photo shoot. But men are straightforward. They book a photo shoot, okay, they know what they want, they will come and they will have it, okay? So it's very, simplified. That's why I like it, and then when I do a post-production, okay, I don't have to do much, I don't have to do much, because they don't want every, birthmark or wrinkle to remove, That's the thing. So that is why I like it. Okay. And what else good I can tell about men? What else good? Men, well, men like that I would change, and put them into a different direction, like they bring a certain outfit. Sometimes they stay and very, conservative and they don't want to, try anything else. But sometimes I can play with them, and say, okay, put this leather jacket, okay, put this pilot tracksuit or whatever on, put this, jeans on, the belt on, and they're listening, okay? So it's really fun, seriously, for me to create a photo shoot which are not complicated, really, okay? When it comes to sexual part, when usually it's at the end, right? When we shoot portraits, then semi-nudes, okay, then nudes, then explicit, and then it goes, to come shots or somewhere. Okay, so the half of the photo shoot usually is really fun, okay, in general. And then they got nervous, okay, because of the performance waiting for them ahead. Okay, they're really nervous how they will perform. That's kind of a thing. So ladies are very much nervous that because they want to look thin and they want to look younger and more beautiful, and men nervous because they want to perform. They want to perform. They want to succeed, right? So I know this because I have time to talk to them, and the photographer's job is also to listen. During the photo shoot, I ask questions and they tell a lot about themselves. And of course, we are having, an intimate conversations with men because that's what we're shooting, right? Okay, so thank you so much now. And like I said, my lives will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays on US channels. If you have any questions, just leave me. Today I was talking about photo shoot for men and what men are doing in the studio, what they're choosing. They're choosing a portrait photography, they're choosing a dating photography, they're choosing photo shoots with models, different kind of models. Like I say, men can choose men models, men can choose female models. Female models can be escort, tantric, or dominatrix models available. Okay, so it's like different, completely different escort fantasy, different personality, yeah, depending on the model. Okay, and then there is a self-development and confidence shoot, doing them for themselves, for their growth, for their understanding, to release that pressure, to see themselves, not to feel anymore any worry or excited, just to release that pressure. That's why they do a photo shoot, okay? To put it on the bucket list that it's done, that he achieved it. You need to be brave to do it. Can you write me in the comments? Can you put a plus sign? Who is brave to do it? Erotic photo shoot. Of course, with the woman photographer. Because there are a lot of men photographers. This guy was calling today and saying, I'm looking for a woman who will do this and these things, including intimacy and penetration shoots. And he says, I cannot find. Of course you cannot find. There are not many of them who do shoots without limitations, So yeah, so men, like I say, worry about most important thing is if his tool will work, look good, big enough, thick enough, and so on. And again, completing and finalizing this post-production with men is very straightforward, and it's easy to work for me with them, but often they're so, imagine the guy has a great physique and seriously a good size. No, good size, good size. And imagine that the guy who has a good size, he doesn't see it. He just doesn't see it. He's saying, can you go to Photoshop and enlarge it to make it bigger and thicker? And I say, you don't need it. You know? No, seriously, you don't need it. But he doesn't see this. Okay? That's what it means, the broken image. When people do not see themselves because someone else formed that image in their heads long time ago. So that's why people are doing constant operations or you know, injections. They want to get beautiful and not stopping because they do not see it. And when they do the operation, they still see that ugly face, you know? And I do feel sorry for these people, and there are a lot of them. Okay, there are men and there are women. So I wanted to tell you that story when the man Instaboy came to my studio and I had a successful shoot. I knew that I had a successful shoot, and he said, I just want one picture. It was very strange, you know, because I say, okay, if you want one picture, probably it has to be like extremely special. If you're just buying one picture, it's like, I just need one picture. And so I shot a lot of pictures for him. And then we sit down and we looked at the images with him together. And none of the images were good for him, you know? He could not see himself in, the mind was unhealthy. Okay, I'm looking, it's hard to shoot a great looking guy bad. I took good pictures. He's looking back great already, you know? But he did not see it himself. And he was sitting next to me, looking at the computer and calling himself very, you know, negative words, you know? That this is not good, that this is not right, that this is this, da. And then I said, okay, so if that would be a perfect picture for you, I said, can you tell me what, you know, like, can you tell me what you want? So he couldn't tell me what is that perfect picture, but he went through every shot and he told me what he likes in that shot. Okay, so there was a fracture of that image that he liked, and the rest of the image he dismissed, he hated. Okay, so he hated himself. That's the whole part of the image, 90% it was hate to him. That's why people do not love themselves. Okay, and then the others cannot love them because they hate themselves unconsciously. They don't think that they, you know, beautiful or looking good, and it's just real. This is exactly real. And I know that there are people who are watching me. They also have it. They look at the mirror and they don't see a beautiful person there. I know that you do not own hot and sexy pictures of yourself. You know? So think now. If you're looking at the celebrities, right? And celebrities, you know? That's what we're looking at. Celebrities, popular people. They tap into their sexuality every day. They live from it. They make money on it. They make businesses on it. You know? They make careers. They create projects on sexual energy. That's what they get the resource from. Okay? And of course they are in front of the camera, not shy, not embarrassed. You know? Taking pictures or making videos doesn't matter. It's not a problem. You know? And you? Do you have a problem? Text me who feel this way. You know? Because this is, like I say, evolution. You have to start working on yourself. There was this guy constantly telling this. You know, that's how I remember this. He was saying, if you want to be successful in life, work less on your job and work more on yourself. You know? And before I couldn't understand what that means, but now I know very well. Invest in yourself and do certain things which are matter, for yourself. And the things where you're scared, when you're afraid, when when you feel nervous, that is the place of strength and growth. And I'm right. You heard this. You heard this, okay? Thank you so much. You are awesome. That's compliment. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. If you like it, good. Send me more questions. I have lots of information. Lots. I come not prepared to lives. Okay. I just come to chat because I'll just download this later video and post it on my social media, so it's easy, for me to invest that time instead of making a lot of videos, right? So that's what I do. If you want to know more about photo shoots, more information about people, about personalities, different characters, you see there are different personas. We are all different personas, actually. We have all different erogenic zones, okay? We are absolutely different people. We like different things. We build in a different way. We get turned on in a different way from different things. Okay, very often different people meet and this chemistry and stuff. And then they do not know who they are, and they cannot find, the places to touch back again, right? Because of the psychosexual development, okay? We went through this, and that's what is important for us in adult life, okay? Because or we're limiting ourselves, okay? What I'm saying, limiting. If you don't love yourself and you do not allow yourself many things, right? And that is not related now to men, because men are gifted, okay? Men are gifted. They do not have to work hard. They just come, okay? They have an orgasm. Yeah, so men are gifted in this area, okay? Woman is different. Women have to work hard for this. So that's what I'm saying. What else you want to know? Next topic I will have is about couples, okay? And that's gonna be on Tuesday, because I'm going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's I promised to myself. So I could tell you more and more about erotic photo shoots for adults, right? I don't see anyone here wrote me any pluses. Do you have any hot and sexy pictures? Send me a plus. Yes or no? Would you smile and watch me? I know what is this word. I know what is this word. This is the thing, There are men who think that they can come, and I do this, you see? I do this. When I shoot with my camera, I have my eyes open. I watch. And I have this man asking me, will you watch me when I will play with myself? I say, you know what? I cannot shoot with the eyes closed. I will be looking and watching anyway, But for the premium price. I don't do any more standard shoots like that, okay? I think they should go and see the prostitute and jerk off in front of her, This is something what I've just discovered to myself. It's better I book another couple, and have a double income instead of getting kind of a cheap client. This is something about men, they think that how to say, this is a very straightforward situation. No, it's not. It's actually more complicated than you think, okay? And when it comes to going on camera, it's even more complicated. I'm from Lithuania. I am from Lithuania. Oh, I had this check now on TikTok because it's 1 hour. People maybe their algorithm is checking if I'm a human. Okay, I am from Lithuania. Lithuania. It's the center of Europe, in the very center. You will remember that. You will remember Lithuania because I told you where it is. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I came from Lithuania to London, learn English, changed my profession here. I worked in a hospital, right? I was a medical person. I become an artist I always wanted, right? And then, yeah, I've created my studio and I'm shooting adults only. But before I've actually tried all the mediums, all the mediums. I tried to shoot sport, and of course portraits, of course babies, of course product, photography, food. I did all of that, weddings and stuff, right? I stayed with erotica because it's my calling. I'm natural. I'm extremely professional in this field, and it doesn't take me any effort. Like right now I'm talking about erotica without any notes. Don't need to. It's recorded in my DNA. When I was a little girl, I always was interested in adult stuff, always. And I always talked about that. Can you imagine? Everyone is embarrassed, just not me. I will be talking about that. So that's how it is. Okay. I've heard of it. Okay. I have friend in Europe. Good. I have friend everywhere. I have friend in US. I have clients coming from US. The reason why I came to US channel, actually, I will be creating a course, photography course for beginners, okay, and for pros, advanced people who would like to learn adult photography in my nearest future. I also going to prepare a membership area, okay, with nude artwork collections, photography and videos, okay. Lithuania. Okay, Lithuania is not Romania, Lithuania is not Russia, and Lithuania is not Ukraine. Okay, Lithuania speaks a Sanskrit language. Sanskrit. And if I start talking, it will be nothing like Russian, I can tell you. Okay. Okay. Do you offer virtual services? Virtual services are very popular, okay, with adult models. My virtual services are consultations, okay, that's what my virtual services are, okay, and I do techno and house music events, so a lot of my friends are in the music center. If you do the music, you have a sound analyzer. Okay, you are one of the 5% who are very much intelligent. Sound people created very important things. Created numbers, created letters, created rules, 10 God rules. I mean, like sound people, 5% is very unique. People who do music and understand music, all the geniuses, okay, had the music from the sound. So I am glad to have this sound.
You can be as you are.